Hey folks, Craig Hawk, Small Fry Aquatics. It's that time again. So glad that y'all could be here with me. Let's take a look here real fast. Bob Kaler's here. Hey Bob. Redfish Bluefish is here. Chris Johns here. Wichita Falls Fish Keeper has already thrown down the challenge that I need to be entertaining while he commutes home. Okay, there's multiple guitars in this room. If it really comes down to it, I'll start playing. Although I don't know if that's entertainment or if that's just going to be testing your patience, you know. Streetwise, hey, how you doing? You know, I'm going to take a quick second here because it's hot and I'm turning on my fan here. Don't go away. Okay, I'm back. Yeah, it's got toasty over here. It was actually inch on the chilly side, but that seems to have gone away. So 85 Music, hello. Hello. So glad that you all could be here. Larry D's Tanks and More, hello to you. Hope everyone's doing well in your various parts of the United States. We got a little rain here lately. It's enough to wake up the grass, which quite frankly I really didn't want to do, but happened anyway. So, which means now I have to cut the grass. So, yeah, what are you gonna do? So I don't have a topic for today. I just figured we would chat and we would see what comes up. You know, Wednesday's usually an action-packed day for all of us. There's around 14 live streams today. And so I will do my best to keep things amusing for you. Dragon Layer's here. Hey, Dragon Layer. One of my projects that is coming up is I'm running 8 different strains of guppies right now. And I have ones that are not going to make the, the hit parade here. They're not breeders, but I'm loath to actually cull them. So I'm going to start pulling them and using them as dither fish in some of the pleco tanks. And I'm going to start spreading them out. So I've got males in one tank, females in the other, and, appropriately label the tank so I can actually find the fish at, when I need to. And there's Edgar moving over to his chair over there. And why not, right? It's pretty much his place and not so much mine. Let's see, chat's going along here. Okay. Bob says, just walking with my ball python to the exotic vet. Okay. I knew a guy that had a ball python, and he used to love walking up and down the street with it wrapped around his arm and either entertaining or scaring everyone, depending on what their reaction was to it. I think I might have told you guys the other story to my, let me take a sip. Welch's grape juice, the pause that refreshes. The official drink of Small Fry Aquatic. I know I'm stealing that one from Bob Guppy. Friend of mine, my buddy Jamie, back when his kids were of an appropriate age to be dragging home snakes and stuff like that, he used to have a python of some kind, and it invariably got out of the tank and wandered around the house. And needless to say, Mom was not happy with that sort of an arrangement. They would find the python eventually and get it back down to the, the reptile, whatever they kept them in a tank or whatever, but invariably finally get away again. So once the kids officially had no interest in them anymore, Jamie called up the local pet store and, said, hey, look, I got this pretty big python here. Would just like to give them to you. You got any interest? And the guy goes, well, I don't know, how big is it? He goes, well, yeah, it's about 5-6 feet long. Is he eating? He goes, yeah. Oh, yeah, he's eating well. All right, $50. Jamie goes, no, you don't have to pay me anything. That's fine. Guy goes, I'm not going to pay you anything. You're going to give me $50 and I'll take your python for you. So that's how wanted pythons were back in the 80s and 90s. But I always hang on to that story because I like it. What do we got going on here in the chat? Oh, we got secret codes in here. So now many Jasons now. Yep. That's why I kind of like the whole idea of us going by our handles as opposed to our real names. For those of you who don't know, Craig is my real first name, but and not like there's a bunch of Craigs around, but if you're sloppy on the pronunciation, it may sound like Greg, and we have several of those. And every once in a while, I used to get did you say your name was Fred? Well, no, I didn't say it was Fred, but what you gonna do? Tater salad. Oh my God. It's been a while since I bumped into you. That was over on Dennis's shrimp stream last time. I think you and I bumped into each other, but maybe it's just my aging brain here. So anyway, my thought on the whole guppy thing is I'm going to kind of separate out the, better than cull, but not good enough to breed. I'm going to put, males in one tank, females in another. And, let's just see how that sort of works out. And, if they wind up getting big enough and pretty enough, I may sell them. And if they don't, well, at least they're, swimming around and acting like ditherfish for the plecos. And then that kind of frees up space in each of the guppy breeding tanks, because that's kind of that's the whole point there, is to keep just the breeders in there doing the things that they're supposed to do, trying to separate out the drops and stuff like that. So Chris Johns, hey, that's how I feel. Too many Chris's to not get tagged. They get confused unless it's highlighted. Sharon Miller, hey Sharon. Oh, absolutely. My nephew, at one point, he and his brother were both married to girls named Jen, and he actually wrote a poem called Too Many Jens, which I thought was very cute. It was a very, very long time ago, but it was pretty cute. Bob says, yikes, they have emergencies, so it might be until 6 until they see us. Might have to stream the 6 chat with the vet exam. Oh my gosh. Well, there we go, huh? Wichita Falls has USPS been unpredictable for you two all week. All my East Coast deliveries fell in a black hole. Well, let's have a little conversation about USPS. And what the heck? This is my stream. I can get as political as I doggone well feel. So in my development, and I do live in a development, we have both a Facebook page and a different app that I can't remember the name of. But anyway, it's for all the folks in the development. And so one of the guys posted up saying, hey, have you guys been getting your mail? We're talking about letters and bills and stuff like that, because I haven't gotten anything for 3 days. Well, I have been getting it, and I have that USPS informed delivery. But not only have these guys not been getting it for 3 days, it's now stretched into 5. So somebody reached out to the 800 number for the post office. Now, I'm going to assume it's a postal employee who persons or mans or womans that phone, and not just an outsourced third party. But here's the response that they got. The new Postmaster General, who is a personal friend and appointee of Trump, has vowed to slow down USPS deliveries to purposefully make sure that mail-in ballots will not be counted correctly, thus forcing in-person voting. To that end, the postmaster has gotten rid of all overtime, has selectively taken some packages out of circulation, others in circulation, and is very definitely trying to has got an agenda. I guess that might be the best way to put it. USPS has an agenda. So what do you do with that information? Well, what you hear from the Republican part of the White House says the USPS has been running in the red for years and years and years and years, and we can no longer tolerate that. And this is what it takes to correct the ship. Well, I guess I can't argue with that. I mean, if any company's hemorrhaging money, you can't do much about it. Although the other side of me says this is an important piece of infrastructure that I don't think we ever should have outsourced or made not a part of the government. Yet that is what happened. I mean, we essentially separated USPS from the government. They're no longer a .gov. They're now a .com. On the other hand, if we need this piece of critical infrastructure, and we absolutely do, it's not like FedEx or UPS can pick up and deliver your mail house to house. That kind of training would take forever to figure out, and then each letter would cost you $6 or $7 instead of the exorbitant price that we feel like it already is. I'm almost ready to jump off my bandwagon here. But we need this piece of infrastructure, not only for voting, not only for the conducting of commerce, but we need it for what we do in the hobby. We have to be able to trust that an overnight box will actually get there overnight. It seems to me there's a political agenda now very much in play. You don't have to Google far at all to find out all 9 sides of this whole thing. But here's my best advice: stop using USPS for the foreseeable future, especially for live animals. So, okay, jumping down off my soapbox. Let me go back and take a look at the stream here if I can make my talk my mouse into working. Let's see here. So no, I guess not a lot in there. Fantastic. Let's see. We've got 10 watching now. If you guys hit the thumbs up button, I'm told that that's really valuable. So I would appreciate that. If you're not a subscriber, I wish you would consider being a subscriber, because it makes me happy when new subscribers pop up. I got a new one today, so I was pretty happy about that. Tater Salad says, here in Europa, we are following what is going on in America in these times. I am appalled by things that are going on right now. Oh, Tater Salad, I got to tell you, we're all appalled. Well, most of us are appalled by it. Although I drive up and down the street and I see the Trump Pence signs up, and so I don't know. Maybe I am the cheese and the cheese stands alone. I don't know. Redfish, Bluefish, why dice it up? The current administration has purposefully created services to enrich themselves. People can click the button and leave my channel if they don't like it. Me no care. Yeah, I hear you, buddy. There's really not much more to say about that. They absolutely have further created their own little dynasty there. If I mean, love my post office, relied on it solely when I used to ship stuff frequently. Best value. Oh, absolutely. No two ways about it. Supreme Gecko, hey, good to see you. Sharon Miller, I've heard the same thing. It is outrageous. The Postal Service should not be involved in politics. No, it should not. So, yet it happens anyway. Just like, so I'm a former bank examiner, federal bank examiner at that. And the FDIC is an appointed position, the Federal Reserve is an appointed position from Trump, or from the president, let me not say that. The head of the OCC, my old organization, is an appointee of the president. So the president has a hand in all of this stuff. So they are always crafting whatever policy they want. I mean, you see it at the Supreme Court justice level. I mean, how many people you're just crossing your fingers that Ruth Bader Gingrich can stay alive, and until hopefully things shift. I mean, that poor woman is pretty much standing on her head as far as I can see, just to make sure that we don't add one more Supreme Court justice from, that off balances things a little more. Dragon Lair Postal Service is in the mess it's in because the government forced them to change the pension funding. Well, you're not wrong about that. And that's what makes me wonder too, if the post office fails, what happens to all the retirees? Does, Dragon Lair, only company in the US that it was done to? Oh, I know. There was an agenda in the White House. They, if anyone doesn't think they were trying to curve the election, I think you're not watching. Amy Five Music, RBG is a bad person. I understand. All right. Well, we've dissected the post office. My best coaching at this stage of the game is move to FedEx if you have live animals. I like using Ship Your Aquatics. I'm pretty sure it's a .com. They do a real good job of, they'll even come to your house and get boxes for you for $5. $5 for one box, $5 for 20 boxes. They don't really care. Let's see. Chris Johns, mail-in voting should definitely be not allowed at all. I really have no idea why you feel that way, Chris. It's no different than absentee voting. It's very, very same thing. Amy Five Music, no, that means cool. Oh, I'm sorry. No, I knew what you meant. Amy, what I was trying to say is, I'm trying not to say the bad word that you had at the end of there. That's all I wanted to say there. Well, thanks, Bob. You did the thumbs up, and I appreciate that. Yeah, what was I saying? So yeah, let's talk a little bit about mail-in voting. It's no more invalid than in-person voting. Everything has to be checked in the very same way. Your name has to be signed. It has to conform with what they have at the voting records. It has to come from the house that you said it came from. All the checks are in place. It's the same stuff. Amy says, okay, yep. So Tater Salad, Trump has a lot of supporters here in the Nordic countries. Me personally, I don't care too much about politics. Well, yeah, Tater, in the Nordic countries, you got a whole different thing going on up there from a political standpoint too. You seem to be more solidified politically. You don't shift, way left, way right. You kind of just do the same things. We don't do that here. We swing wildly from the left, wildly to the right. It's just, it's a crazy thing that we do. I guess not necessarily a bad thing, but I sort of care for. Dragon Lair worked in 4 states, has for years, Chris. Oh, yeah, mail-in ballots are, there's nothing wrong with that, other than the fact that Trump doesn't like them. There's no proof of any widespread voting fraud as much as he talks about it and his minions talk about it. Just doesn't exist. I think we're going to find out when this live stream is over how many people disagree with me, and I'll let you know in the next live stream base. I'll tell you how many subscribers I lost after this. So let me see. Chris Johnson, I already caught one lady that filled out like 200. They're going to be slipped into the mail with mail-in voting. She got busted. Oh, yeah, there was a mail worker, not M-A-L-E, M-A-I-L worker that was stuffing Republican ballots in there. They caught him, too. I'm not saying people don't do fraud, just like there's people that, they'll bus in 200 people to a different voting precinct and try. I'm not saying people don't try. What I'm saying is the same checks and balances are in place for mail-in voting as they are in person. So that's my only thing there. Amy Five Music, the only thing that's different here in Minnesota is that you do have to have a witness signed due to C-19. I'm not sure what C-19 is, and I like the idea that the witness doesn't have to sign. In Ohio, for the longest time, you not only did a witness have to sign, you actually had to have the damn thing notarized. And that's no small piece of business. I mean, the whole idea is if you couldn't get down to the poll, must be something wrong. You broke your leg, you're pretty sick, you're in the hospital. The heck, you're going to come up with a a witness for that, or a notary. But yeah, that's not that part's not unusual. I really do wish that it were different than that. Sharon says mail-in voting keep people safe. I just common sense since COVID-19. It is, Sharon. At least the option needs to remain open. I'm going down. I mean, I got my mask. I have just a whole slew of these things here. I got the kind that go like the neck gaiter, and then I pull it up and over, and I put a second one on, and I got my rubbery gloves and all that sort of thing, and a bunch of alcohol in the car. And so I do all the things I'm supposed to do. I don't expect that everybody's going to do that, right? So let's see. Bob says, agree, Sharon. So many people ignore safety measures. They get sick and make others. Oh, yeah, Bob. You're absolutely right. We see it all the time. Tater, I'm staying no matter what. My horse isn't in the race. There you go. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Dragon Lair, I live 3/4 of the block from my polling place. I walk. Yeah, I don't live that close, but I'm going. That's just all there is to it. My biggest fear is not getting COVID and not fraud from mail-in voting. What I don't want to have happen is my vote to get lost in the mail due to the slowdown or not get counted or something like that, Bob says, please give Craig a like. Thank you so much, Bob. I appreciate that. Let's see, Supreme Gecko did 2 reptile shows last 2 weeks. They were as safe as possible. That's awesome. I only went to the cichlid convention, Northeast Ohio cichlid thing, like I was like October or November, like I always call the 2-month October because they, all seem to run together. And, we didn't have COVID to worry about that, but I had a really good time. That's what I'm trying to say there. And I'd love to get back to some of the fish shows and stuff. So, Amy 5 Music, I have a whole strategy of saying safe at work. I got to tell you, when I was working a job, and this was pre-COVID, but there'd be any number of people that, because, doing what I did, I was on the cube system. So, they had, 300 cubes, in the area the size of a football field. And you hear people coughing and choking, and it was just a disgusting cacophony of noise. I asked my boss, why don't you make them go home? Why do you let them come in here and pollute each other? Well, there's a whole HIPAA thing, and you don't know that they're sick. I said, well, you don't know that they're not. They're coughing up a lung here, for the love of God. And then after they do that for finally 3 or 4 days, then they're out, But by then you've got something. So, yeah, no, I'm just not happy with the whole way we do the workplace. And maybe if we get to the point where the workplace figures out how to let us do more remote working. Like I'm just seeing over here, Dragon Lair says, I work in retail as safe as I can. Yeah, you're not going to be able to work it from home, right, if you're in retail. Like my joke is on those house shows where you find the young couple, and she's like a part-time nail tech, and he's a stay-at-home truck driver. I never leave the house. I'm a stay-at-home truck driver. It's like, and they got $1 million for their first house. But so there's some things that you just got to get out of the house for, and some kind of jobs like that. And I think that's why you mask up, you glove up, and keep people safe. But All right, let me go down through here. YouTube encourages educational vids on COVID-19. Yep, they do. They do a real good job. Dragon Lair works in retail, safe as they can be. Yep. Tater said, celebrating my 44th birthday today. Just saying, Tater, happy birthday. Happy 44th birthday. I only vaguely remember my 44th birthday. It was a mere 23 years ago. Happy birthday. I hope it's a great one. Let's see. 85, work in transit. Ooh, interesting. When I was in Minneapolis, I used to use the light rail to get from downtown Minneapolis out to out to the airport. Maybe I'm misremembering my cities. I don't know. Um, I always liked Minnesota. My problem is I wound up being there from November through late February. Probably couldn't have been a worse time to be there. But what I thought was really crazy is they were still eating at tables, out on the sidewalk. They just light up those kerosene heaters, and those crazy Nordics people just ate it up. They loved it. Couldn't get enough for it. You know that, and they love their ice fishing. I don't mind fishing. I want it to be a nice, balmy day. Amy is one of the first 30 train operators. No kidding. So is it fun, Amy, being a train operator? It seems like it would be. I've always had this fascination with railroads and used to model railroads. And I mean, when I was a kid, I used to be able to tell you what all the railroads were that were in operation. I always liked the Santa Fe. I think I like the colors of them best of all. But yeah, train operating seems like it'd be pretty cool. So let's see what else we got going on here. We should probably get back to fish at some point here. But I like talking about trains and stuff too. I like talking politics. Let's see. Anybody doing anything cool and unusual with their tanks? I was saying I'm gonna move some of the guppies around and see if they like that or not. So we got 9 people up here watching. Cool. I appreciate you all coming in here. Let's see. Amy says, it was in the beginning, but got repetitive, like driving the bus better. Well, yeah. So one of the things, maybe you guys can shed some light on this. I'm looking for some fun stuff to do. And I know we're talking expense here because I'm just at the beginning of talking or thinking about this, but I'm thinking about taking private pilots lessons. And if you watch the YouTube videos of people kind of getting going on there, I mean, it sounds, and Amy, I'm kind of seeing a lot of this for you, the whole radio and, what you got to do to get the plane up in the air and the talking to the control tower and keeping things safe sounds like it's very, very difficult. And it would seem like the same thing from running a train, but I'm betting it's probably more, it's like driving a car and you're just waiting for the right light or waiting for the right word. And like you say, it gets a lot simpler. So I don't know. But anyway, I'm thinking about doing that. Let's see. Chris Johns didn't buy anything interesting, but did just order a Finex planted plus 24/7 for my 75 gallon. That sounds awesome. That really does. Let's see, Dragon Lair. I'm just happy I finally have a pair of guppies still alive after 2 weeks. Oh, Dragon, who are you buying from? Amy, I'm a street supervisor now. Oh, fantastic. Okay. That's really awesome. No, Dragon, you gotta have guppies alive after 2 weeks. I'm not actually in a position to ship anything right now, but you gotta get on Championship Show Guppies, Bob Kortler's site. He ships beautifully healthy, wonderful. I have not lost one of his fish, and I've been buying from him for like 6-7 months. You gotta go that way. Let's see. Let me back up. I see you, Wichita. Let me get this in just for a couple of seconds here. Metallic pink guppy. Dragon says in a gup. Oh, I see. Okay, whole different conversation here. I got you. Okay. Amy says rail has lots of rules and radio protocol. Yeah, that's what it seems to me. Wichita Falls. Have you had any luck with the Snow White and Sisters? I gotta tell you, man. Here's what bad happened. So I've got 5 or 6 left. I wound up with all males and then one fish that's about half the size of the males that might wind up being a female. But that fish is stunted in growth. They should all be stretched out to full size, and they pretty much are. But I got no females. And I've had offers. People want to sell me, want to sell me, 1.5 inch fish. And I'm not paying the price and I'm not growing them out. And here's another one of my complaints about the snow whites. They're incredibly fragile. I don't care what anybody tells you. You can order 10, you will have 5 in a month. Then those 5 that are left are going to do fine. But expect about a 50% attrition rate when you bring them in, ship them in. And consequently, I've had offers of people, well, you want to just sell what you've got? Well, I wouldn't mind selling them to you, but do you mind not getting a live arrival guarantee or a live in a week guarantee? Because you guys know me. If I sell you a fish, I'll stand behind it for a week or so, if it dies. Well, I'm not willing to. They're a pricey fish. And for an 1.5-inch fish, you're probably talking anywhere from 75 up. And that's just for the short fin variety. So that's where I'm kind of stuck there. Dragon says Petco, my only source right now. No, you gotta start buying online, buddy. You just have to. Yeah, I don't want to trash Petco and Pet Supplies Plus and all of the big box stores, but that's not where you're going to find your healthy fish, your pretty fish, the ones with good genetics that are going to breed true. You got to get your breeders. You can get your tanks there. You can get your gravel and that kind of stuff. But let's see. The pair are doing great, hoping for pricing. Well, I'm crossing my fingers for you. So, Amy 5, checking on my super red fry today, found gold blazer Cory eggs. Oh, yes. I get them from time to time I scrape them off with either a razor blade or credit card, put them in a little breeder box because they will get eaten if you don't. Let's see, Taylor, getting 200-gallon plexi tanks tomorrow. Oh, Bob. Stocking them with 8 species of rainbows from Dan's Fish arriving Friday. Yeah, for those of you who do not know, Dan has a raft, and I mean a raft of rainbows up on his site. Get them while they're there. Get them while they're and when I talk about his site, you're talking about getgills.com. That's where you want to go. And Bob getting 200-gallon plexi tanks tomorrow. I know the plexis have got to be expensive, but I know they're light and they're pretty. Did you get the kind, Bob, that are 99% lead free, so the glass is almost invisible? I keep looking at those, but those are just, I don't want to empty out my 401k just to buy them either. So, Dragon said, can't afford shipping plus the price for most guppy sellers. Yeah, I'll grant you it's expensive. Guppies are $50 to $80 a trio. And what I do too is I fill up the box. I don't just get a trio. So I save it up until I'm ready to get 3, 4, 5 trios. And then, it's a $50 charge for shipping. And maybe I only buy one a year or something like that. So, Dragon says Dan is nearly sold out on a few of the rainbows there now. I figured they would go fast. So, yep. That's the thing. They're hard to come by. Bob says I'm gifting IFGA winter guppies and Santa Maria endlers to a friend tomorrow. Ooh, I'd love to get some Santa Maria endlers. But Dan has not made any more of those available. The other one I wouldn't mind getting my hands on are the Roebuck Reds. I don't see anybody parting with those either. And it's not a quest to get them. I'd like very much to have them, but I'm, not trying to kill myself there either. What strain of IFGA are you? What colors, that kind of stuff. So Tater salad, we don't battle so much with sick fish here in Denmark, and I've always wondered why. Well, here's my thought on the whole guppy thing. People tend to love to import the weird looking non-standard IFGA guppies from the Far East that are just loaded with worms, bacteria, and badness is what my opinion is. And ask any guppy breeder that has IFGA credentials, they'll tell you the same thing. It takes about a year to work all that out of them. So that's kind of what it is. Bob says, Craig, do you mind sharing a stream link for 6? No, Bob, I do not mind doing that at all. I would very much like it. Love to do that. Give me a quick second. No one go away. I'm going over here to get Bob's link. Let's see. Don't go away, folks. I'm right there. I'm just a slow type, and my computer's even slower than I am. I am almost there. Let's see. It's good. Yep, I got you. Let's copy the link address. Okay. Now I'm back. And this is Bob Kaler. Six o'clock live stream. And there you go. So yeah, Tater, that's my 2 cents on it. If you buy from the IFGA guys, you're getting fish that are very, very healthy. Oh, Bob, you got those tanks, LFS less than a home. Man. You are so lucky. Oh, you're welcome, Bob. I'm glad to help you. You've been nothing but helpful to me, so it's the least I can do. So you got them from the LFS, less than $100 each use. I got to tell you, my local fish store doesn't do beans for me, man. I'm telling you. Tater salad, mostly order fish and shrimp from Holland, Germany, France, and Belgium. So a couple of my friends have gotten together and brought in plecos from Germany and the UK. And I got to tell you, so you can get things that you can't get here. I mean, that's how you get the snow white ancestors and stuff like that. The shipping price is so exorbitant. You can take the price of fish and quadruple it. Just assume that. And 3/4 of that price is nothing but shipping and handling. On the Europe side, the American side, paying customs, paying Fish and Game to steer in the docks, doing all that kind of stuff. So it doesn't make you really want to go through the effort, to tell you the truth. Let's see. I want to click on Bob's link to make sure. Okay. Hey, yeah, nice. We'll put it up there for everybody to see. So that's at 6 o'clock. Go join Bob and live stream with him. And I will join you, Bob, as quickly as I can. I need to get something to eat when I'm done here. And I will do that soon. So let's see. Bob, it's interesting you should say that. Still no fry from my Super Reds. I got to tell you, Bob, I'm not getting fry from my Super Reds. I'm not getting fry from much of anything right now. And I reached out to Greg Sage a couple of weeks ago, and he was essentially saying the same thing. There's something odd going on. He thought it was maybe moon cycles, or like he said, I don't have an explanation for it. I'm not doing anything different than I've done in the last 15 years. And he's not getting, his plecos are not doing anything. Most of his fish are kind of just, lethargic as far as spawning. So I really don't know. And I'll tell you, Bob, I've got a small tank full of longfin super reds. Be happy to send them to you. I'm not even, help me out with the shipping, and because I'm kind of getting out of the whole pleco thing, just because I think I've probably sold plecos to every human being on the planet that wants them. So I don't know. Bob says dealing with snake vet from outside the building that might have interruptions in the stream and all that inside. Oh, Bob, I had to take Edgar, who's back there on the chair, over. He, the heck did he need? Oh, they give him an injection because he scratches a lot. And yeah, it was one of those deals. I swear to God, it was almost like a drug deal. You call them from the parking lot. Then when they're ready for you, they will phone you back. You hand the dog, at the door, and then, go wait in your car. Don't be standing here. Go wait in your car. And then they'll call you, and the vet will talk to you. Yes, you may now speak to the vet. And the vet's very friendly. They talk you through the whole process, and then it's, do your payment, and then you can, it's like a hostage situation. They hand you back your dog, once the money is done. So, let's see. Bob says sold. I'll pay shipping and more. Nah, buddy. We'll get this figured out. Tater salad. I don't keep plecos, but they usually breed pretty easily. Well, yeah, usually, usually they breed like guppies. Pretty much every 30 days. I don't know what's up with these guys. I tried all the tricks. Usually, if they get, and we're talking about bristle nose here, not the more complex plecos, but usually if they get cranky, a water change will do it. Try a wet dry cycle, which means or a dry wet cycle. You let the tank sort of evaporate out, thin out your feedings, maybe once every other day, every third day. And then after you've done that for about 3 weeks, you fill up the tank with cool water and you feed the heck out of them. And, theoretically, they're sitting there going, oh, I'm not in Craig's basement anymore. I must be back in the river. Well, part of the problem is, and Greg and I were laughing about this too, these fish were never in the river. These guys are 20 generations away from the river. So all they have ever been is in, somebody's basement. So, I don't know. Dragon says ancestors do cater. Some others can be hard. Oh God, yeah. I mean, I've got 046 zebras. I've got 15 of them. They take 3 years before they're even close to mature enough. And, that's where I'm at with those guys. So, I mean, you've got to have some patience. They're just, they're going to pop them out like that. Sharon says, remember I told you my albino male wasn't breeding, well, he's fanning eggs now. Good for you. Now I'm having a lot of luck with my albino males, or my longfin albinos. My short fins, not so much. I don't know what the problem is, and they're in side-by-side tanks. So I don't know. This whole fish thing's kind of weird. I mean, even the, one of the things that I'm doing too is I'm cooling down my tanks. I used to run them a little hot. Now, my high pan system, I run in the mid to high 80s. Just because I have been told, and it's been my experience, that they like that. But everything else, I'm starting to let cool down to the mid 70s, the mid 70s and the low 70s. And that might be responsible for some of the slowdown here. I mean, let's face it, if you run the temperature up nice and high, then the fish's metabolism goes up. So I don't know. Tater salad. So I hear a lot about the weather having an impact on breeding. Oh, yeah. There's no doubt that if you in anticipation of a huge thunderstorm, if you pull a water chain, almost always you'll get fry, or you'll get eggs out of Ancestris. But that's why you try and do the wet dry cycle. And here in Cleveland, I mean, we've been dry as a bone. We've had 2 rainstorms since mid-May. So I don't know. Let's see here. Mob Guppy. Hey, man. Appreciate you stopping by. You missed all the Guppy speak. Now, there wasn't all that much of it. I'm just teasing you. Dragon Lair. My normal bristlenose doesn't like his cave. He hangs out in a holy rock that is only a third of him fits. Rubber lips use his cave. Well, I'd grab a different cave. Might be too big, too small, too smurfy, wrong shape, wrong this, wrong that. I always try and do, let's see, round cave, rectangular cave, square cave, then of varying sizes. I would, in my Ancistrus tanks, I probably have a dozen caves in there at any given time, So, yeah, that's kind of me. So, let's see. What are we getting here? 546. Getting here toward the finish line. It's the cave from Koa. Well, I mean, I'm not casting aspersions on Corey and or his cave. All I am saying is that one size does not fit all. So I use a bunch of different caves. There are people that, well, let's put it this way. There are folks that have success with wood caves. There are ones that have success with smooth ceramic caves, with rough ceramic caves, with the entire myriad of this whole thing, So, you got to find what works for the fish. It's not a matter of what you like. It's a matter of what the fish like, So, Bob says, Doug Ray has cabin fever. He's messed with me all day. Well, that's funny. Tell Gray he should come over here and get in on the guppy speak. So, Peter, that's what I was talking about before. I've decided that I have guppies that will not make the, what do I want to say here? They're not breeders, okay? But they're not so bad as I'm going to call them. But I don't need them in the guppy mix, so to speak. So I'm moving them over to the Pleco tanks. And so what I'm going to do is strain by strain, I'll take like the male half black reds and put them in one tank and label it. The female half black reds in a different tank and label that. I'm going to do the whole thing down the line. I need dither fish anyway. Might as well be those as anything else. If they grow up to be pretty, maybe I'll sell them. If not, well, they can live a happy life in there because I still need dither fish. So, so let me get back here. Dragon Lair, I think it might be too large. Might be. It might be. I mean, you want one that, a female and a male can kind of fit in. I've got, trust me, I'm not fat shaming here. I have a Queen Arabesque that I refer to as Oprah. I mean, this fish is the biggest 260 I've ever seen in my life. The corresponding male is about half her size. And, he gets her in the cave and he comes in behind her. And it's just the funniest thing to see because when she wants to come out, trust me, she's coming out. Whereas most plecos, once they get that female in there, she ain't coming out until she gives up the eggs. Well, Oprah's coming out anytime she damn well feels like coming out. So I don't know if I'm going to get eggs from those guys or not. Might have to find a bigger male, and I still don't know where I'm going to find them out. So I don't know. Let's see. Dragon Lair, Streetwise, let me know if you have questions about the... Okay, that must be a side conversation. So let's see. Tater salad. In shrimp keeping, we have a lot of snake oil. I'm kind of new to fish keeping, but I spot a pattern. Oh, there was a guy that was selling breathing resin. Talk about snake oil. Holy cow. It was almost like buying magic beans. You're supposed to put them in your filter and it lowered the hardness or did the so I bought a bunch of them. I still got 2 or 3 of them that are in the box. They didn't do anything. Might as well have literally just bought magic beans, threw them in the backyard, and wait for the beanstalk, you know? Dragon lair, D-shaped, 2.5 inches wide in the bottom. Like Sharon says, 4 different kinds of caves in my tank. One male will use a pleco cave, one will use a watering spike. Mine like small. Yeah, well, I use watering spikes too. So those are the round ones. I got rectangular ones. I got D-shaped ones. The other thing too, you want to give them a choice. Put the flat side of the D cave up, and on a different one you can put it down. On a third one you can put it on its side. Yeah, I always try and give them a choice. You know, it's about the best thing you can do is just give them a choice and see what they like. Once a male finds what he likes and he's gotten a rhythm with the females, then you're kind of home free, and you don't have to keep all of those caves in there. But yeah, it's an investment. I bet you I've got at least, I don't think it's an exaggeration to tell you I got over 100 caves down there. My buddy Jim Stanford with Pleco Hotels, and matter of fact, this is his shirt right here. Turn around, give you the back. He sells caves. If you want caves, that's your guy. Pleco Hotels and Accessories, that's the guy. So you got to reach out to him. They give you a good price, easy shipping, whole 9 yards. So let's see. Dragon Lair, order the watering spikes, payday. Yep, they're pretty reasonable, and they come in 2 sizes also. So size them up according to what you got. What you got, the size of your Pleco. All right, well, we're kind of heading into the final roundup here. We're at 551. Amy 5, advice on L397 Plecos. I've got a herd of them down there. I was just looking in the grow out tank today. I probably got about a dozen in the, I don't think I'm exaggerating if I told you they were 1 3/4 to 2 inch. And then I've got 4 breeding pair. But again, they're not breeding like crazy. But so they are an omnivore. So I try and give them live baby brine shrimp, which they will eat the living heck out of. I like Dr. God, I'm going to forget his last name now. I'm doing good with that food. And it can be had from some other place I can't remember. Ken's Fish Room. Yeah, I'm not going to remember the name of the food. Doing well with that food. Don't pound them with a lot of vegetables. They'll eat it, but I haven't noticed that it really does a heck of a lot for them. I keep them a little on the warmer side. I do keep them more in the upper 70s to just a little inch under 80. I keep wood in there. They will, they'll suck on the wood. Whether they eat it, I don't know. But most Plecos do like wood in the tank. Even if they don't eat it, they use it for digestion. They kind of, inhale, exhale on it to keep pushing things through. Let's see, what else can I tell you about that? I think that's about it. Bob says, heading over to get started and to hand the vet python. Okay, thanks, Bob. And you're welcome, and I'll join your stream as soon as I can. Let's see, Amy 5, thinking about getting some time. So upper 70s, right around 80. I just use tap water on them, highly filtered, but it's not RO. And I did try them with RO. They don't seem to care about that anything any more than not, to tell you the truth. Tater salad, what is a watering spike? It is a, and I know you asked Sharon, I'm going to go ahead and answer this for her. So it's essentially a ceramic, orangey ceramic thing that there's a point at the bottom, and it sort of tapers up into a cone. What you're supposed to do with them is you push it down into your house plant or into your garden, and you fill it with water, and the ceramic leaches the water out. They're about that big around, and they go down to a point at the end, and we use them in our tanks all the time. Sorry I'm not down in the fish room, and I could show you one because I got them all over the place down there. The openings tend to be, what do you think, Sharon, maybe around 1.5 inches. And I know they make a small one and a big one. I think the big ones are like 2 inches. So that's what I know about that. Dragon said the same thing that I just said. All right. So we're getting to be about 6:55. I'm going to let you all go so that you can do whatever it is you need to do before you go over and say hi to Bob and for the rest of the night. Again, hit the thumbs up button before you leave if you would. If you're not a subscriber, please consider doing so. If you are, thank you so very, very much. Hope you all have a really good week. Thanks for stopping in and hanging out with me. Dragon Lair is about 1.25 inches to 2 inches. Okay, there we go. All of you have a real good week. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Take care. Love you all. And wish I had like a sign-off phrase. People get like, hey, stay fishy. Hey, do. I don't have any of that stuff. Okay, take care. See you. Get out of here. Let's see. Come on, Mousy Mouserson.